welcome to this week's Wildlife Matters podcast. And in this feature-packed episode, we are sharing another Wildlife Matters Guide 2. And this time, it's about helping you to care for your garden birds this winter. As always, we will take time to relax and enjoy time spent in nature, in Wildlife Matters Mindful Moments, where we share a special audio nature soundscape from one of our adventures. But first, let's go over to the news desk to see which stories have caught our attention in this week's Wildlife Matters Nature News. Hello and welcome to this week's Wildlife Matters Nature News. We have 3 wildlife and nature stories that caught our attention to share with you this week. And our first story brings good news for Scotland's ancient rainforests. 10 projects across Western Scotland will get support from the Scottish Government Rainforest Restoration Fund, managed by Nature Scot. This funding will help restore the country's native woodlands. Scotland's remaining temperate rainforests are about the size of Edinburgh, but they are home to rare species and important habitats. These woodlands also absorb up to 1 million tonnes of carbon dioxide every year, and they help prevent flooding and soil erosion. The West Coast's mild, misty climate allows rare ferns, mosses, liverworts and lichens to thrive. However, these rainforests are threatened by invasive plants such as Rhododendron ponticum and by various deer species. Projects from Argyll to Assynt will benefit from the £1.7 million fund. This includes the Nevis Landscape Partnership, Nevis's Nature Network Rainforest Restoration Project. And with this support, the group can continue habitat restoration, involve the community and address invasive and non-native species. In this area, the rhododendron alone covers around 400 hectares in the Ben Nevis and the Glen Nevis areas. The Woodland Trust is also seeing success with 3 rainforest projects. The South Assynt Collaboration Project will address deer impacts and look at the area's social, cultural, political and economic factors. The Glen Torridon Partnership will focus on removing the rhododendron, training locals in invasive species control and ongoing maintenance. The Regenerating Cragnish Rainforest Habitats Project will manage deer and invasive species, encourage community involvement and create new jobs. And whilst the Appin Community Development Trust has also received funding to form a team of 6 part-time members and a volunteer leader and volunteers. This group will focus on removing invasive species from 2 important areas in Appin. The project will also work to improve local deer management by collecting more census data and checking deer fencing. Nature Scot's head of funding, Ian Syme, told Wildlife Matters, "Those who live and work within Scotland's unique and internationally important remaining rainforest are at the heart of the vital work to restore these incredible habitats." This funding will support employment, help biodiversity of the rainforest flourish and strengthen the resilience of the communities on the west coast of Scotland against the impacts of climate change. And Julie Stoneman, who's from the Alliance for Scotland's Rainforest, told us, "We're delighted that the Scottish Government has provided crucial funding for these projects. The ASR's aim is to restore all of Scotland's rainforest. It's ambitious and challenging, and ASR organisations and rainforest communities are stepping up to the mark by developing and delivering these landscape-scale long-term projects. We have a long way to go, and this funding is an important step to help us get there for the future of our internationally important rainforest and for the benefit of the people who live and work amongst these amazing woodlands. Our second story today is great news for hedgehogs in Dorset, who are now getting the help that they desperately needed. Since opening its new centre last year, Dorset Hedgehog Rescue has cared for nearly 600 hedgehogs. The centre used to be in Poole, but in 2025 it moved to a new purpose-built building in Bear Regis. Since then, it has helped 593 hedgehogs, releasing 474 of those back into the wild. This means that they have a 79% save rate on hedgehogs, which is incredible. In a full year, the Dorset Hedgehog Centre could have cared for around 900 hedgehogs, and the team is already preparing to help more than 1,000 hedgehogs in 2026. The new centre has 103 custom-built cages for daily care and 10 ICU incubators to help vulnerable hoglets and sick adult hedgehogs to recover. The charity told Wildlife Matters, "Our staff and volunteers are our biggest asset. The skills and dedication of our hardworking people, regardless of their role, are the backbone and lifeblood of this rescue. Every one of them plays a vital role in the day-to-day operation of the whole organisation." Over the year, the charity received 3,164 calls for help and advice. Most hedgehogs needed help because they were seen out during the day, and that made up more than half of all the admissions. Other common reasons were disturbed nests and sick or injured hedgehogs. 63 mother hedgehogs and their hoglets found shelter after their nests were disturbed, and 19 orphan hoglets arrived without their mothers and needed constant care. Volunteers Kay, Cheryl and Tracy acted as the surrogate mums and together fed more than 70 hoglets around the clock during the spring and summer. This is a remarkable achievement. Since it opened, the centre has welcomed more than 1,000 visitors, but caring for hedgehogs is expensive. The centre's daily running costs are around £275, which means a running cost per year of over £100,000. So if you would like to support Dorset Hedgehog Rescue, which is a registered charity, please donate what you can. We will include a direct link to their website for your donations in our show notes. Our third story this week is a reminder that the annual RSPB Garden Birdwatch 2026 is just a couple of weeks away. It's running over the weekend of January the 23rd to the 25th, inviting you to slow down, notice the life in your garden, and discover the feathered visitors that make your garden their home. Watching birds move through your garden can be very rewarding, especially when you know you're helping nature and attracting different species. Winter is a great time to feed birds and all other wildlife. As it gets colder, food like berries, seeds and insects becomes harder for birds to find. With less food and more energy needed to stay warm, many birds are getting ready to raise their young. This is when our help is the most important. Feeding birds is not only fun and fascinating for you, but it can also provide a vital lifeline for the birds that share your garden. So how can you take part in the RSPB's Big Garden Birdwatch? Well, getting involved couldn't be simpler. Simply visit the RSPB website to sign up and receive a free guide to help you get started. Then you pick your time over the weekend of the 23rd to the 25th and then spend an hour watching birds in your garden or local green space. You write down the birds that you see during that hour. Please count only birds that land in your chosen spot. Whether that's a garden or a public park, don't include birds that fly overhead. And for each type of bird, note the largest number you see at one time instead of counting every single sighting. This keeps things simple and helps to make the results more accurate. Thank you to everyone who takes part in the RSPB Big Garden Birdwatch. Citizen science is a powerful way for us to learn which wildlife species are present and how they are adapting to changes in climate, biodiversity, and just to modern life. And that has been this week's Wildlife Matters Nature News. We hope you enjoyed this week's Wildlife Matters Nature News and the good news for hedgehogs in Dorset and the incredible ancient rainforests of the west of Scotland. And if you do the Big Garden Birdwatch this year, then please do share your thoughts and experiences with us here at Wildlife Matters. You will find our contact details are in the show notes. Now, let's take some time to relax and enjoy nature. This week, we're on a winter walk in the South Downs, and as we near a small, windswept copse, we can hear birdsong resonating on the breeze. So sit back and enjoy this week's Wildlife Matters Mindful Moments. I hope that wherever you are listening, you enjoyed that blackbird. He certainly took the lead, and it was his song, recorded in February when he was proudly telling the world of his vocal skills and his perfect place in that small copse to build a nest and to raise a family from. There was also a large group of sparrows there. With the copse surrounded by arable fields, it would make a great home for them. And of course, our friends, the collared doves, providing the rhythmic cooing sound that acts as a baseline to that audio. But now it's time for you to join me in the garden at Wildlife Matters HQ for this week's Wildlife Matters main feature, as we bring you another Wildlife Matters Guide 2. And this time, it's to help you look after your garden birds this winter. Hello and welcome to this week's Wildlife Matters main feature, which is a guide to help you look after your garden birds this winter. A winter garden holds its own quiet enchantment. Snow muffles the world as frost sparkles on every twig, and beneath the chill, life waits and whispers. Birds arrive like living jewels, their bright feathers and lively songs turning winter's hush into a vibrant sanctuary. But despite their lively presence, winter is a time of hardship for birds, with food and shelter growing ever more elusive. We hope this guide will help you transform your garden into a welcoming refuge where birds discover warmth and safety throughout the coldest months of winter. When the frost settles over the garden, birds face their toughest times. As their food disappears under layers of ice, water freezes solid and the nights stretch on, cold and unyielding. Robins, finches, and countless others depend on our care to help them survive. When we understand their winter challenges, we can help them to thrive, not only endure the cold winter months. Winter's icy grip makes survival difficult for wild birds, yet your simple actions can make all the difference. Provide high energy treats to stoke their warmth, fresh water for sipping and splashing, and snug shelters to shield them from the biting wind. Even something as simple as cracking the ice on the bird bath or tucking a feeder out of the wind can be a lifeline to your garden birds. We'll explore some easy ways to make your garden a winter sanctuary, from picking the perfect foods to creating safe, sheltered nooks. A garden that truly welcomes birds offers much more than food. It needs dense shrubs and evergreens that become secret hideaways and well-placed feeders that give the birds security. With just a few thoughtful touches, your garden will soon host a lively parade of feathered guests, all weathering the winter together. Wildlife Matters has created this guide to help you feed birds throughout the winter. By following these tips, you can support your local birds and enjoy their company, watching them flock to your garden, even when the weather turns harsh. Offering the right seeds and nuts in your feeders or on your bird table keeps the birds healthy and strong. But choosing the right natural foods is just as important as it is keeping the feeders full. Remember, not all human foods are safe for birds. Sparkling clean feeders and thoughtfully chosen foods are the secret to keeping your feathered guests in top health. Many birds love sunflower seeds, with or without their shells. And these seeds are rich in healthy fats and proteins, providing birds with the energy that they need to stay warm in winter. Finches, robins, blue tits, and other small birds also love Niger seeds, which are also known as thistle seeds. These seeds can give them the nutrients and energy that they need to help them keep the cold of winter away. A millet is a wallet-friendly treat for ground-feeding birds like sparrows, giving them a much-needed energy boost and keeping them well-fed all winter. Peanuts are another winter favourite. They're packed with fat and protein and help the birds stay energized when the cold bites hardest. You must always choose unsalted peanuts. Fill your feeders with a variety of seeds to attract a colourful cast of birds. A diverse menu keeps them healthy and makes winter bird watching a daily delight for you. When nature's pantry is empty, your offerings of nuts and seeds help birds survive the winter and may inspire them to return to your garden all year long. So what should you not be feeding your garden birds? Well, feeding birds is a joy, but it pays to be careful about what you share. Whilst kitchen scraps might seem generous, many common foods can be risky, especially in winter when birds are more vulnerable. Don't give birds dried fruit, since it often has added sugar and preservatives that can harm them. And some dried fruits, like raisins and sultanas, are especially dangerous, so it's best to avoid them completely. Cooked rice may look harmless, but it can breed bacteria if left outdoors. And greasy foods like bacon rind or cooking fat stick to feathers or spoil quickly, creating real hazards. Avoid processed or salty snacks like chips and crackers, as extra salt is hard on the bird's health. And do watch out for mouldy or spoiled seeds, which can harbour dangerous toxins for the birds. Check your stored food often and throw anything damp or clumpy away. Never give dairy like cheese, since birds cannot digest lactose and it can upset their stomachs. Bread itself is not toxic to birds, but it offers very little nutrition, especially in winter when every bite matters to them. To help your garden birds thrive, serve a balanced diet and avoid anything that could harm them. If you're not sure, just use natural seeds, nuts, and suet made for wild birds, and keep feeding areas clean to stop any risk of disease or infection spread. So what containers should I use to store my bird seeds? Choosing the right storage keeps birdseed fresh and waiting for your feathered guests. Airtight, watertight bins of sturdy metal or thick plastic shield seeds from moisture, pests, and spoiling. Keep them in a cool, dry place indoors, ensuring the birds always have clean, safe meals. The feeder you pick decides which birds visit and how they feast. Tube feeders suit small seeds like sunflower or Niger, and their narrow openings keep out bigger birds and squirrels. Finches, tits, and siskins especially love this type of feeder, whilst platform or tray feeders invite a wide cast of birds, from sparrows and dunnocks to blackbirds. They are easy to clean and refill, but placing them in a sheltered spot keeps the seeds dry. A roof or overhang adds extra protection from rain and snow. Fat balls and suet blocks are winter's power snacks for birds bursting with energy. Hang them from special containers, branches, or hooks, but always pick holders without mesh to keep small birds safe. Suet feeders are a favourite with woodpeckers, starlings, and long-tailed tits, delivering a vital calorie boost when the cold bites. Bird tables invite flocks to gather and feast. Raised tables shield food from predators, while roofs and overhangs help keep the seeds dry. For extra safety, set tables away from thick shrubs where cats might be hiding. Squirrels and other clever creatures can be deterred, so pick sturdy, easy-to-clean feeders with baffles or weight-sensitive features to keep them at bay. Mount feeders on poles or hang them from wires well away from trouble. Fresh, unfrozen water is just as vital as food in the winter. Set out shallow dishes, refresh the water daily, and break any ice that forms. Add a bird bath with gently sloped sides and float a small ball in to help stop the water from freezing over completely. But cleanliness is essential for healthy birds. Always wash feeders and water dishes weekly with a mild solution or special cleaner, and even more often during wet weather or if illness appears. Clear away old food, droppings and seed holes quickly to prevent mold and disease spread. A sparkling clean feeder keeps birds safe and draws a wider variety of visitors, turning feeding time into a true delight. And with fresh seeds and water, your garden becomes a lively hub for your bird watching. Regular cleaning helps your feeders last and keeps mold or spoiled seeds from harming birds. In winter, when food is scarce and birds are vulnerable, a clean, well-stocked feeding area can be the difference between struggle and survival. By caring for garden birds through the cold months, you'll support not just for the individuals, but as the whole web of wildlife that depends on our gardens and green spaces. At Wildlife Matters, we believe everyone can help protect and support their local wildlife and enjoy doing it. Even the smallest actions can spark big changes, making your garden a healthier and more vibrant place for wildlife. Whether you're a seasoned bird watcher or you're just starting out, your efforts will make a difference for nature. And we can do this one garden at a time. And that has been Wildlife Matters Guide to Feeding Birds in Your Garden this winter. And if you do follow our tips, we hope you enjoy watching the birds and knowing that you are helping them survive the harsh cold of winter. The early feedback from you is that you are enjoying the new Wildlife Matters Guides 2, which cover a wide range of wildlife and nature-based subjects, including on our next episode, which will be released in 2 weeks' time, when we'll be sharing the Wildlife Matters Guide 2, Wildlife Tracks in the Snow. We cover how to identify and follow tracks, following the clues to find out what wildlife species has left them. There's so much to look forward to, so make sure to like, subscribe, follow, and share our podcasts wherever you get them. And we'd love it if you could leave us a review as that really helps the algorithm direct more people to our podcast, and it helps our community to grow. Thank you for taking the time to listen to us today. Every one of you, our listeners, means the world to us. And as always, stay curious, wild ones. This is Wildlife Matters signing off.